Unless you guys live under a rock by now, I'm sure you guys all know that Elon Musk just became the world's first trillionaire. So I wanted to make a quick video talking about this. So what was the main cause for him going from wherever he was, I think at 800 billion of net worth to now 1.1 trillion? So it was the recent IPO, initial public offering of SpaceX. Initial public offering is basically when a company lists itself publicly on the stock exchange. So it goes from a privately held company to a publicly held company. So the original owner still maintains shares, but there's also a portion of the company's ownership which is sold to the common public. So anyone can buy it, from the billionaire on Wall Street to every other normal person like you and I could purchase shares now in SpaceX. So I just want to mention something here quickly before we get into the whole thing. What is interesting is SpaceX has the largest IPO in history, which is absolutely insane. And they still lose money. I think they lose something like $5 billion per year, and their revenue is only something like 18 billion, yet they're valued at $2.1 trillion. So it shows you an interesting place where the world could potentially going. So it's two places. It's either one of two things, because we see the same thing with, it's likely going to happen with the IPO of OpenAI and the IPO of Anthropic, because currently these companies are each valued at just under $1 trillion, and they're both losing like billions of dollars per year and have also like $5 billion in revenue, which is insane. So one of two things, it's either a massive bubble in the stock market at the moment and it's all going to come crashing down at one point, or the whole landscape of investing, valuations, earnings per share, investing in the stock market, all of that is changing. Which one of those two it is, that we'll have to wait and see what is happening. So it's pretty crazy. So if I look here at the share price of SpaceX, so it opened publicly at $150. Its high was $176. It's currently trading after market hours at $166 per share. So nothing crazy, no crazy boom, nothing like going from 1 to like 5 million in a day. It had a reasonable uptrend because people were excited about the stock. So there was a lot of people buying into it the moment it went public, and then it kind of like neutraled out and stayed between the 160 to 170 line, and literally stayed like that throughout the entire day's trade. Well, let's say the second half of the entire day's trading and now aftermarket. So there's been a lot of hate outside in the public because Elon Musk is now with $1.1 trillion and there are people who can't afford to put food on the table. So I get that argument. But it's the nature of capitalism, and the flip side of that is we get socialism or we get communism, which those two are one and the same thing. And in either of those two political or economic philosophies, or whatever you want to call it, it works for absolutely no one. It pretends to work for the common good, but it works for absolutely no one, and only a very small, minute percentage of people hold the power, and all the wealth is basically transferred completely to them and they redistribute it. Which already I'm like, at least in a capitalist society, we can put in the effort, and there's going to be even if it's a small chance, there's going to be a chance of every single individual who's trying to succeed in. Maybe not at a scale of Elon Musk, you have to be a completely different breed, but have individual financial success, financial stability, and even freedom of choice. Whereas with socialism and communism, you absolutely can't. You basically get told where to work, what to work on, how much you can spend, what you can spend on. You're basically put into like a regiment. And yes, to a degree now in the corporate world, in the 9 to 5, it's very much like this, but at least you can still escape that and try your own thing within a capitalist society. So that's just my argument there. But I think the story of Elon Musk is truly unique. And I remember back in 2016, 17, when I used to watch like these motivational videos. Yes, judge me if you want. I used to watch ones on Elon Musk quite a bit, and Elon Musk has always been a controversial person. Wherever he's gone, people have doubted him, people said he would fail, he wouldn't make it work, blah, 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 blah. And look where he is today. It's pretty insane, right? But I remember this was like 2016, 2017, where one of the videos was like talking about Elon Musk and how he's this mega entrepreneur worth just over $10 billion. And back then I was like, whoa, that's insane. This guy has literally done the unthinkable. Look now, 10 years later, it's absolutely insane to think about it. But I think what makes his story so unique is if you look at him, and truthfully the rest of the PayPal mafia, or the other co-founders of the PayPal mafia, they all, like, PayPal exited for I think 1.2 billion. It was bought by eBay, and each of them made tens of millions, and a few made a few hundred million from it. Well, not a few hundred million, but just over 100 million. Elon Musk was the largest shareholder in PayPal, so when it got bought out by eBay, he personally made 180 million. But all of these guys after PayPal, they went on to do extraordinary things. You know, Elon Musk, of course, founder of SpaceX, co-founder of Tesla. Later on, he bought X. He's an investor in Neuralink. He was an original investor in OpenAI, but he left when the whole problem with Sam Altman taking the company from not-for-profit to a for-profit. He's done the Boring Company. He's launched satellites into space and given rural places across the world internet. Like, absolutely incredible stuff. And then kind of like undershadowing his greatness, I call it that way, Peter Thiel gone on to do incredible things, co-founder of Planetary Technologies and launched Founder Fund, a very successful VC fund. Max Levchin, he's co-founded fintech company Affirm and Slide. Reid Hoffman, LinkedIn and Greylock. Chad Hurley, Steve Chen and Jord Karim left to co-found YouTube. Look where YouTube is today. It's made many, many people millionaires. I mean, Jimmy or Mr. Beast became a billionaire from his YouTube content, so that's just absolutely insane. Jeremy Stoppelman and Russell Simmons founded the review site Yelp. David Sachs founded Yammer and established himself as a prominent tech investor and political commentator. And Roelof Botha became a leading figure and managing partner at Sequoia Capital, which is the largest VC fund. So this is an absolute behemoth of entrepreneurs there. But each of them, even though, yes, maybe the ones who are holding smaller shares in PayPal didn't end up netting as much as Elon Musk. So they kind of wanted to make it more for themselves. But Elon Musk could have just gone and retired and lived on the beach. But no, he took his whole entire 180 million and invested like half of it into half of it into SpaceX and the other half like into Tesla or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. But it's also an interesting story, how he ended up partnering with PayPal. So he created a company, Zip2, or invested, and this later on became X.com, which was his grand vision to disrupt the financial system. And his rivalry, which was Peter Thiel and Max Levchin, who founded a company which was like this digital wallet, also trying to disrupt the financial industry, that they named PayPal. Then when these guys kind of realized they're basically trying to do the exact same thing, they created a merger. And yeah, so they actually initially kicked out Elon Musk, not initially, like after in 2000, they kicked Elon Musk out because he was trying to migrate the whole thing to Microsoft, to the Microsoft software. But they didn't agree, so they kicked him out. But because he was still the largest shareholder, even though he was no longer part of the company, he still got the biggest payday. And PayPal, was bought for 1.5 billion. So it's a crazy thing if we look at his story. You can say it's not really even inspirational because how many people can actually achieve that? And with that, I want to say I don't think many people or anyone, in fact, can achieve that, because if you read his books, this guy, he doesn't have what's any resemblance of like a normal just life. He works 16 to 18 hours a day, sleeps in the office, doesn't own very many luxury things despite his wealth. He's had a lot of political disputes. And that's honestly what I think makes him so unique, is because he's just different. He's different to pretty much any one of us. he clearly isn't in it for the money either. I don't even know if he's in it for the power. I think he's just genuinely in it because he wants to, I want to go as far as to say, create the things he dreamed about when he was younger. Like, what of what he does screams just following the grain? You get what I'm saying? Like, who the hell decided to send rockets up into space and catch them when they're coming back to reduce costs, and colonize Mars, send satellites up into space so that you can provide Wi-Fi to people in rural areas, bore like hundreds of feet into the ground, and create tunnels to stop traffic, stop causing traffic jams. Put a chip in the brain to help people who have some sort of neurological disease or even just impaired eyesight or blindness or whatever. I mean, it's like this guy read science fiction books and he was like, screw it, I'm gonna create the things I read about in science fiction books. So I think, okay, he's worth 1.1 trillion, and yes, it's unfortunate that there are many people who are struggling. I mean, majority of the world are still probably maybe not majority of the world, I'm not sure on the exact number. I'll put the statistic down below. I mean, in the screenshot over here. But he has created many incredible things, and I do think humanity is going to be better because of the things he has created. Now look, there are going to be a lot of things. Now, yes, there are a lot of people, especially a lot of financiers, who haven't done anything and who have raked in billions of dollars. You can argue that, yeah, okay, they don't really deserve to be that wealthy because what have they actually contributed? That there's a case for, that I can agree with. But Elon Musk has genuinely contributed to the betterment of the human race. And I think 100 years from now, we're going to be reaping the rewards. So kudos to that. And like I said in the beginning of the video, the flip side of this, which is socialism and communism, is far worse than having one guy worth $1.1 trillion. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers for now.